During the past 10 years that I've been reviewing games on and off, I've used the phrase, the personification of just one more go gaming, numerous times. I used it to describe Coconut Dodge. I used it to describe Panarium. I've used it whenever a game has combined the thrill of risk versus reward gaming with, I hate to use this word but I will, addictive mechanics that hook you in and keep you rooted to your chair for hours on end. Unfortunately, I must confess that each and every time I've used that term until now, I've lied to you. Don't get me wrong, at each time of using it I've meant it wholeheartedly. But then I played 10 Second Ninja X and I realised that this is the one true personification of just one more go gaming. 10 Second Ninja X is the sequel / remaster to the original 10 Second Ninja from 4 Circle Interactive. It's a side-scrolling 2D puzzle platformer that tests the player, a ninja, to traverse 100 challenging levels concocted by the enigmatic pirate Captain Greatbeard. In order to clear the levels, 60 of which are brand new, the other 40 made up by remastered ones, you must destroy all of the enemy robots that have encapsulated your bird and bunny forest friends. Sounds easy? Well, the catch is that you have to complete each level in 10 seconds or less, and you are judged via a 3-star system on how quickly you can complete them. The entire game is driven by the star rating system that eases you in quite gently. Just a few robots on a simple level that can be cleared well within the 10-second time limit. But just like many of the other most addictive things on the planet, the taster is free and the rest will cost you dearly. The difficulty starts to ramp up, more robots are in harder to reach locations, the 10 seconds starts to feel like a fleeting moment of panic. 3-star runs drop down to 2-star runs and then 1-star runs, and then you're restarting after only a second of starting. You see, while progress is tied to the total star haul, the game is always driving you towards that elusive 3-star rating for each level. It mocks you with how close the next goal is, showing you at the end of each run, and it's because it's always less than 10 seconds, it always feels attainable. Attainable, but just out of reach. This is what gives it that just one more go gaming kind of addiction, which is instant and it's only a button press away each time. The game achieves its addictive nature via some incredibly smart design. On the surface, 10 Second Ninja X looks simplistic. The ninja hero, who is uncommonly responsive, can run, jump, slash with his sword or throw shurikens, which are limited to 3 per level. It's when these abilities are combined with the drip feed of new level mechanics does 10 Second Ninja X really come to life. Switches, bounce pads, these claw thingies that grab you, and protected and shielded enemies are introduced at each new difficulty step change. As each new mechanic is introduced, the way you play the game has to change. Any method you sped through previous levels with will probably now be too slow, as you wrangle with the new dominant mechanic. The majority of levels have a number of ways to complete them. The most obvious method, the one that jumps out at you at your first attempt, is normally the slowest and will bag you a single star. 2 if you're lucky. It's the experimenting, where you push yourself to be quicker and to try something new, to get closer to those killer lasers just to shave off a couple of milliseconds, and those eureka moments when a 3-star method just jumps out at you that make this game so gosh darn addictive. I only have 2 small pieces of criticism about 10 Second Ninja X. The first being that the otherwise exemplary soundtrack, which adequately sets the tone and drives you on to do better, seems to get confused. It's like multiple instances of the level music are being played over one another, and the usual toe-tapping greatness descends into a din. This didn't happen often, and was fixed by quitting to the menu, but it is worth mentioning. The other complaint is one that's endemic of puzzle platformers, and while it's unfair to lay this at the feet of 10 Second Ninja X alone, I still feel the need to mention it. Progress is locked behind your performance, and you must on average unlock 20 of the 30 stars available from each batch of 10 levels in order to progress to the next 10. When you get snagged up on a level and you have to keep restarting for any length of time, even when the game's offering you hints in the form of ghost playthroughs, it would have been nice to be able to skip to the next batch to avoid some levels outstaying their welcome, and some players will find this incredibly annoying. To me, it isn't a minor niggle, but it's still worth mentioning. 10 Second Ninja X is, in my eyes anyway, an essential purchase for puzzle platformer fans. It's a very well designed, engrossing, addictive, gorgeous game that tests your intelligence as well as your reaction times and pushes that risk-reward gameplay to the next level. For those that missed the first 10-second Ninja game, there are 100 levels here for you to tackle, and even if you did play the original, there are 60 new ones tied together by a plot full of British wit and cringeworthy awkward humour. Trust me, it's worth seeing for just some of the jokes in this game. A few tiny niggles aside, 10-second Ninja X is the personification of One More Go gaming and gets a Thumb Culture Gold Award for its trouble.